Part 3. Amazingly, this has still got a bit of charge. Right. That last one I made cost me money because I'd heated up the water in the pan, but then I forgot to turn this off or put it on pause. I always forget they've got pause buttons. Didn't put it on pause and put my water into my flask. Right, but this is going to be literally 2 minutes now. Okay. Hack. Now, girlies should be able to do this as well. Now you see, I leave the bottom of this computer undone because if I want to get data off my phone, the very quickest way, these, you can buy these, I've got dozens of these, but I'm talking about over 15 years. That can just be slotted in like that, and it's the quickest way. And see, it's back there. The fact that it's broken at the back has got nothing to do with this. Why have I actually turned this on? I've forgotten now. Yeah. Such hacks. There is no danger as long as if it's plugged into the mains, you bloody well don't touch it, obviously. But you just leave it. This is called hanging loose, but in an essential way to get through the day. Now, I'm wasting engine, but I'm not actually going to turn this computer on, because it was used last night to charge, to get the last bit out of the computer of battery into the phone. But why am I actually doing this? I've forgotten. Yeah, this also is another, when I charge this computer up, and it'll only have half an hour in it, that's the very quickest way to get stuff, to get data, film out of your phone onto an external hard drive to back it up, because phones can break at any minute. I mean, I've had my big one, my good one, for 3 years, although it's been virtually unusable for a year and a half, has failed. So, religiously. And this is the day, yes, that the government have said that they're going to spend millions now starting up schemes. You know, this is what I care about, to provide instruction for people on digital creation. Yeah, digital creation is only about one thing: PR and spin. I mean, I just look at it all. It's like 30 years ago, actually it was before 30 years ago, towards the end of the 80s, every little spiv, and I even include myself in this but I was reticent, like, wanted their own fancy brochure, which cost a couple of £1,000. You know, you're providing some service. My service, I actually had my own little, like, oh, I'll start up my own little Bangor air taxi company with a borrowed old Bangor aircraft. Yeah, it never really happened. It happened for maybe 6 months, but to the point. It was known 10 or 15 years ago that marketing has to be alive. It has to be fucking authentic. It has to be real, because people aren't entirely stupid, but nobody's managed to do that. I call it gonzo advertising. What was I going to say? I mean, gonzo advertising is, well, for example, I shouldn't say this, but the NFU. Twice they've emailed me in the last 4 years, like, we sent a piece of paper to your house and it got returned to us. Now, I have just ignored those emails. I mean, they were horrifying. Fuck, I've had it. They've rumbled me, okay? But my direct debit payment still goes out every month. Advertised with the NFU. Of course, I can't phone them up and say, would you like to sponsor me? You're without a doubt the best insurance company in the world ever, that I've ever had in my whole life. I've even had, for quite a long period of time, I had a really old Bangor, a cheap run-around Peugeot 205 farmer's car, and a camper van, and both were insured with NFU. It's like, they're just astonishing, NFU. But I can't phone them up and say, that's the really great thing about you. You don't even care if I've got an actual address, which I suppose is technically illegal, because they'll, like, oh no, we can't actually allow that to be part of our advertising campaign. But that's what people want. They want to know who are the grown-ups in this world, okay? But precisely, that is a hack, okay? It's the quickest way of getting your material backed up, which you need to do straight away. Nobody will tell you that. But you only know what's worthwhile saying once you've lived. And living means living even in the wasteland, which is a figure of speech from T.S. Eliot, obviously. And I've never bothered reading. I've only ever read parts of his long poem. But it's a great shared lexicon. This is an emotional, psycho-spiritual wasteland. It is. But then everywhere in the southwest is. So why are you down there? Because in fact, I'll put it up also, because it's 3 or 4 degrees warmer than my previous region, which was just as awful, really. There were 1 or 2 real people you could meet there. Not many though. And they were all rabbit in the headlights because they felt even more precarious. Like, we've had this complete downturn, and now we've got what do they call it? The cost of living crisis, economy, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we're even more. We're in the hinterland. There is no hope. There is no way out of this. So even the more real people where I used to live, they shrank. They became in the Bob Dylan song, which one is it? Oh, I forget it. I love that one. They became shrews. There's that really good one where he actually says he made a shrew of his wife 45 years ago. But it's just a song, obviously. But they became... Oh, see, I've ended up wasted money. I'm going to have to light it again, because I need this one hot water. And as I say, everything... I mean, this is how I think, and I didn't go to university. I don't have a media studies or a philosophy or a literature or any kind of humanities, anything. Okay, to me, even though I hate Australia, that's my... Yes, I'm going to make a series on genuine stealth. I can't even stand that word. All I know is this. This is what I know. You have the terrible Oscar-winning film Nomadland, and several van women I knew. And there is no hope in Britain when your van women who full-time have no loyalty, have no sense of shared purpose. But they said that's a crap film too, because I wake up always with even -10 happiness in my eyes as to they. But there is no loyalty even among the nomadic van people, even though they're not really nomads. They work in care and like live in a van overnight and pretend they're nomads. But the point is, yes, year ago, attempting to guide one and then a second woman who I spent a lot of time with, both of them, they were like, oh, I don't want to be part of the system. The first one, I can't really afford to rent anything. She was nudged into watching It's Van Life, and then the bloke, Cat Leonard, sort of merged with this bloke. He's so awful. Whoops, he's R. Van Tales. They don't tell you anything philosophical. That's the point. The point is, I've been in this mode for 30 years. The point is, via the nomadic aside, I think of it in terms of mentally I live in the hinterland. Even round here, it's still kind of hinterland. I mean, I'm looking at a woman come across us, and they all do around here. They march so quickly. Like, we're in Dumpsville in the middle of nowhere. It's all polluted. And yet the way they all walk around, it's like, oh, I'm actually about to be a mistress of the universe in Q green, dominating some field of human endeavour. It's just like bullshit, man. The point of living aside, of living in a mental hinterland, was always having time to ponder objectively what's the reality of our contemporary society, and is there anything useful we can say for the next generation? That became my mode 30 years ago, and none of you two can even think like this. But I don't care about you two. I do care that actual or potential van women have got nothing to say. Nothing. You look at It's Van Life, Cat. She's got nothing to say. She doesn't tell you that wow, it's like, I realised I'm thick. And that's a great, it's an allegory, it's just a tale to tell, figuratively, for the rest of life. For those stuck in the rest of life, a lot of them, honestly, who do say, God, I kind of hate my life, they're all on the hamster wheel so much. It's so much worse here. I've never known such a hamster wheel place in the countryside as this whole region. They'll pretend otherwise. The end. Except I am going to be attempting to spend the next 10 years of my life writing about these things. Yes, so if you, particularly the Substacks, it's like, if you get on my Substack, there are lots of long rambling stuff there that need to be properly indexed, but I don't have the time to spread them elsewhere. You can, if you want. Oh, it's the 3rd birthday of Ralph Schism very soon. RalphSchism.com started for a reason. It's an unhappy reason, but it's been the best reason. It's been the best thing, bizarrely, I've done really in my life, to completely let go. Didn't want to, didn't plan to, but it's been the best thing for my own inner whatever. There are no words. I understand. I've read widely on the subconscious, conscious, for 40 years. There are no words. There is no hack. If there is a hack, and I don't like saying this, I think I kind of have got as close as you can get to the hack of how to actually always, I mean, it actually does come down to the following, which is the NHS have a system called the Bristol Stool Chart. I didn't know about this until a year ago, and it actually does come down to this. If you're shit, I always poo 5 minutes after waking up. Always. I mean, that's paradise. But if your poo is always of a certain pretty decent consistency, and my diet is at 3 out of 10 in terms of healthiness, because I can't afford to eat very well, although I do eat a lot of bananas. Okay? Because I know that Bristol Stool Chart, which they cannot in Britain incorporate, because it's become too confusing. There have been too many spivs for 20 years trying to life coach you via wrong-think. And they didn't know, but I knew as soon as I encountered it. I first encountered it about 20 years ago, in fact. And it doesn't work. It's wrong. Mind, body are one, and one of the net effects, results that you can see when your mind and body are absolutely optimum, measured against what? It's virtually impossible to say, but my poo is almost always at, I think it's 6 is the optimum, a nice firm poo. I know that if you're stuck innocently in over emotional situations, your poo then can go towards the runnier end. It works. I know the mode that I maintain, even though I don't want to, works. Full stop.